and our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers! Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers! Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run and hide.
Hey.
No, I'll start. It's my podcast. No, hey, it's the Pizza Party podcast hosted by Pan Pizza, not Nolan this time. Who are you people? I'm Pan Pizza.
You're so that the desperation leaking out of the corners of your mouth like saliva and like foaming, frothing at your mouth. I'm the host.
Last time you just did all the things where I tell people like, hey, here's how the questions are done, and then you just like interrupt me, and now I have basically nothing to do on this podcast.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been commenting on that, but I'm Nolan. I'm the secret Illuminati man running the shindig. Pan is the president. He is my figurehead.
Yeah, it's just like that Reagan rap video by Killer Mike.
Oh my god. And with me is my co-host.
Slavery wasn't abolished if you look at the 13th Amendment.
Oh my god,
you're
Ben,
gonna
shut up.
say my name, or if I was supposed to announce myself.
We got to figure this shit out. Like, we've done this for over 100 times, and we still haven't figured out a good way.
We got a guest.
Yeah, I know we do. I was just joking. But anyway, yes, we have a guest. Who are you, good sir?
Hi, my name's Nolan, and I run the Pizza Party podcast.
That's not true.
God damn it!
It's
Nolan
not.
doesn't run
I'm
it.
a liar. I'm a fibby boy. I'm a little lying man.
He's Nolan. She's Nolan. I'm Nolan. Are there any other Nolans I should know about?
Meow. No. Hi. I go by HuggBees all over the internet. Which this is a cartoon podcast, so I'm hoping that the name gets the respect that you all would understand where the reference comes from. But I don't know. I do my own podcast, the official podcast. I also stream on Twitch. I just do a whole bunch of nonsense garbage for little children to watch. And now I'm here to talk about more garbage with these fine fellows.
Well, for somebody who hasn't seen your videos or whatever you do, what would you recommend a first timer to watch from you?
Flawless.
Oh boy. Well, I do a series called How It's Actually Made, which is a parody of the How It's Made series. And by parody, I mean it's absolutely true information and all factual.
Yeah.
That's usually where most people
of
start.
course.
That's a good way to learn about me and my sense of humor and what I do to waste my time and hopefully stave off the inevitability of death.
I have a question. Wait,
Yeah.
I don't think you die according to your wiki, because apparently you have a wiki.
Oh,
You're
God.
a god.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
No, literally, HuggBees. He is a god. If you don't know him, well, heck you.
Wait. Does he have a Wikipedia or a Wikia?
A wikia.
Oh, that ain't special. Everyone's got a Wikia these days.
Why hasn't that been lobbied to be removed? Oh boy. Yeah, so that wiki I have no personal involvement with. That sprung up overnight from some dark black web reaches from like a secure IP address. I have no idea.
I'm really impressed though, because martial status god, species god. However, your gender is male.
Well, you know, if you read the Bible real closely, you'd figure out why.
Your eye color is the Windows logo?
Whoa.
I'm a man of many talents.
She's just kidding, Mr. Lord.
But yeah, that sprang up I think like a year ago, a long fucking time, just from a bored gaggle of fans who I love and kiss every night and think about as I fall asleep. And I had nothing to do with that, but if you want yourself an entertaining read, I guess you can look that up on your own time.
We're all familiar with Wikia and all the fans. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know.
There ain't no rules in Wikia.
As long as it comes across that I did not directly write that, wink, then I think we're in a good spot. Do you guys have any wikis dedicated to you? Any scriptures written in the sand?
Oh man.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just call me Nolan Jetstream.
You guys sound sad. Like, are yours negative? Because I haven't read mine in forever. I'm assuming they all love me on there.
There's a page. There's a page dedicated to my penis.
Oh boy.
Oh.
How'd you score that?
Yeah. I don't know, but no, not even close. They keep saying I like cock for people, like small children, which is very uncomfortable. Please stop doing that. but
No.
me saying that is just going to make them keep doing it anyways. So I'm kind of fucked here.
Oh,
Regardless,
yeah.
not that way.
So
Get
like
that
there's
off the
one
wiki now.
on mine. So on Robo's stream, I talked negatively about Mighty Magiswords, and like I described it kind of harshly, and like Nolan's like, "Whoa, way to take him out back and shoot him or something." Like, you know, Nolan's speech to say that I was really harsh, and like I was like, it's Robo's stream. There's like 200 people. It's fine. And now someone on the wiki decides to edit that into it. And so me and him had like this, like, I assume it's a dude, but me and him are like editing it back and forth, and I just kind of gave up and just wrote, "Hey, it's Izzy here. This happened."
Oh man, so some
Oh
Mighty
my God.
Magisword fan wants revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Izzy tempted fate. Izzy challenged the power of the internet and fucking lost.
I don't
Oh
think you could
god,
ever
okay
win
guys.
that fucking fight.
Recently, like about several months ago, I made fun of the Cartoon Network show Summer Camp Island, the one that looks like a Nick Jr. show. And there's this like 10-year-old who just like messaged me constantly on Tumblr saying, "How dare you insult this show," and sends me a picture of himself holding up his middle finger and also like a spooky mask. And it's like several images
Jesus.
trying to be edgy.
Whoa. That's crossing the fucking line. Did you like tell his mom?
I'm just like, what do I say to this kid? You know, like I don't want to bully a child, but you know, this kid's like, man, someone needs to kick his ass. You know.
You should have sent him a picture of you with your paycheck and be like, huh? You see this? This makes me
Check it
better
out.
than you,
It's slightly
kid.
above minimum wage, Hong Kong.
Take
We
that.
we legitimately got a villain on the podcast once because Pan talked shit about the Powerpuff Girls.
Which
reboot.
Powerpuff
Yeah,
Girls?
that's right. The Neros Q episode is still one of my favorites.
Well, wait. Talk shit about which Powerpuff Girls.
The
There's
reboot.
a big difference.
The
The
reboot.
reboot sucks horse dick. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's
Wow.
perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
it's dead now, so it's okay. We don't have to
Oh,
worry
thank
about
God.
it. But
Yeah, but
Here's
yeah, no, we have this
here's the saga recap. Essentially, what happened was, Pan reviewed it, didn't like it, and
No,
this Neros Q
wait,
guy
wait,
decided.
hang on. I made like a section in the top 10, like a segment of like 10 worst reboots, and like it was a minute long of the Powerpuff Girls, and this guy takes this 1 minute segment and breaks it down for 10 minutes and just like tells me why I'm wrong.
we basically just brought him on and challenged his logic, and it was one of the funniest episodes we did because it's like Izzy and Jim desperately trying to talk to a brick wall of like illogical, like recursive logic. It's so funny.
I love how on the internet, how you just can't let people have other opinions. It's, oh man, I love this Powerpuff
yeah,
Girls
no.
show, and this guy didn't like it. Let me pretend I'm the Grim Reaper and go on his show and start shit talking him. That'll change his mind.
He was messaging artists on Tumblr, telling them like how to change their art styles, or like there's a YouTuber that had like feminine poses or a feminine design, but a masculine voice, and he was just like, "You can't do this. This is not how this works. You have to put feminine with feminine and not." And it was just like really weird.
So was he
This
an
is what we-
obsessive compulsive trying to rearrange his mind? Like green goes with green, goes with green, goes with
He has a very strict gender binary, it seems.
Ah.
If I were to like wear a dress, I feel like it would make him like delete System 32 in his brain.
Well, we all are wearing dresses right now, right? That was literally in the
Yeah.
contract for me to come on the show.
I'm wearing like leather. Did you see The Fifth Element? I'm wearing that thing. That weird
fucking outfit where she's like naked for a few seconds and then it covers her titties and vagina perfectly for some reason.
Yeah.
It like gives her a
PG-13
thigh
tits.
gap.
Yeah, it somehow gives her a
No,
cup size.
I'm thinking of like the Miley Cyrus like thong that's like made out of like some weird plastic or something.
Oh wait, do you mean the Britney Spears "Oops, I Did It Again" suit, which is made out of squeaky plastic, and she could like probably slide her way out the studio? Yeah, I know that outfit.
You okay, Pan?
I'm just thinking about that Todd McFarlane looking kid, that Neros Q. Like, I'm sure he's the only Todd McFarlane fan that's still out there, you know? Yeah.
Todd McFarlane's Facebook is great though. Sometimes he'll like do drawing tutorials and he's like really sarcastic and like, I'm gonna show you how to draw Superman. It's actually super easy. Then he like makes like a masterpiece and it's like, fuck you, Todd, bitch. Hey Todd, why don't you come on the podcast? Come on, Todd, you fucker. Join the podcast. Let's see how you
No.
deal.
Yeah, fuck you, Todd.
Todd.
You don't need Todd McFarlane. Let me tell you. I made Spawn. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. It's PG-13.
Stop talking
It
like
sold
John
out.
Leguizamo.
That's how Todd McFarlane talks.
Not everybody sounds like John Leguizamo.
Todd McFarlane does.
But what if everyone
my
did
God.
sound like John Leguizamo? Would the Earth go to a standstill?
Oh, hey guys, it's me, John Leguizamo from Ice Age.
I feel like it'd
Leguizamo.
turn out like that one Fairly Odd Parents episode where everybody's a gray blob. One of them was like, we're the grayest and the blobbiest. Like somebody's the most John Leguizamo-iest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Do you think that like actual John Leguizamo would become like punished John Leguizamo? He like looks over the city. He's like, "This was my world, but now it's me," and like just he's really upset that he's no longer unique.
Oh.
No one knows who he is.
Now there's too many Johns.
He was going to get a biopic TV show, but instead he went to go make the Super Mario Brothers movie because he thought he was too good for TV. Oops.
Yeah.
He's in the Citizen Kane of video game movies. I think he made the right choice.
What the fuck is he doing now anyway?
This reminds me, like during the Super Mario Brothers like 20th anniversary or something, John Leguizamo went on camera in his little studio and said, "Hey guys, it's so nice that it's the 20th anniversary. Sorry, Dennis Hopper and who's the other guy? Who's Bowser and
Bob
Mario
Hoskins.
in those movies?
Bob Hoskins.
Bob
Hoskins couldn't be here." Yeah, it's just like this sad video where it's like, wow, the other actors are dead and John Leguizamo's the only main guy that survived.
What the fuck happened
Yeah.
to John Leguizamo now? What does he do?
Ice Age?
They still make those?
Oh, it's in John Wick.
Wait, he was in John Wick?
Yeah, he's a John Wick's mechanic.
Wasn't he one of the drag queens in Tu Wong Fu?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Tu Wong Fu is? Aw,
No.
poor boy.
It's John Leguizamo's side project. He went to China and said, "I'm gonna raise up this this little family here. I'm gonna call it whatever the fuck you just called it. I don't remember the name."
Tu Wong Fu. It's
Yeah,
a
that
movie
one.
about Patrick Swayze, Blade, or what Wesley Snipes, and John Leguizamo as drag queens going on a road trip. It's hilarious.
All my favorite people.
Well, Wesley Snipes is coming back super hard, right? Isn't he starting to pop up in movies again?
Is he?
I think
I
he
don't know.
is. He was in oh fuck, there was some big movie that just came out and Wesley Snipes has a sizable role in it.
Oh, I think the audio's gone on the stream.
I know
Oh,
I'm
fuck
fixing
yeah.
it. I'm trying to
Quick,
fix it.
quick, everyone shit talk the audience then.
What's your guys' favorite racial slurs?
Oh, I wrote them down just so I wouldn't miss any.
Yeah.
Well, everybody throws the N-word on top of me because I mentioned the term once or twice. So
Mhm.
first Adventure Time and now Pizza Party.
Yeah, I remember when Adventure Time dropped the N-bomb. It was weird.
Yeah, Adventure Time crashed and burned,
Yeah, it was just awful.
just like we
Yep.
all suspected it would.
It was that fucking scene where Jake and Finn were looking over the horizon at the bubblegum war, and he just looked at him and went, "Jake, I wish they'd stop acting like," and then he just dropped that N-bomb, and I couldn't believe they did it. It was brave.
Whoa.
It was brave and
That's crazy.
very weird.
Damn.
It broke new ground.
It did.
It's subversive at our expectations.
Is this where we have to segue into actually talking about Adventure Time ending?
I suppose. You
God
know.
damn it.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
But first, this podcast is supported by Alfredo, our Patreon donator of $100. They want to show off their webcomic, Bongo and Luna, links below. It's a slice-of-life comic of a clown ghost girl and a regular ghost girl living in a graveyard full of other monsters, especially monster girls who get into lewd sexual situations. Give Bongo and Luna a try, it's really cute. It has monster girls, please, read it. Monster girls, links below.
We now return to the Transformers.
I mean, I don't have much to say. I only got like the bits and pieces. It sounded just like it had a nice epilogue, but the episode itself was just like a regular old episode. Wasn't properly built up or anything.
I watched it, but I haven't kept up with Adventure Time for a long time, and I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah, same. I watched like one of those like recap videos before watching it.
So I kind of dipped out around season 4, 5, and I
me
went in.
too.
I went back into the finale just on a blind jump, no recap videos, no rewatching episodes before, and literally just popped it on. And the thing that really hit me was when Marceline and Princess Bubblegum just started making out, and I went, "Okay, I guess they're gay now. I didn't know that. All right, cool." I mean, it was fine. I didn't care, but it was just like, oh. I didn't know that was happening. All right. Sure.
Yeah, They've been trying to build that up forever now, and it finally paid off in the very last possible season.
Good
which is
shit.
how things seem to work out, but yeah.
I mean, honestly, the kiss was really underwhelming considering
Yeah.
that like all of the stuff that Steven Universe has done at this point. Not to bring up Steven Universe, but I feel like we've had like so much queer representation to have this like it felt underwhelming because the angle they chose to do it at was so weird that you could cut out 2 frames and it would look like they're just hugging, which is probably what they did for international reruns.
See, I agree with you on that because they also had the kiss sound effect, which is like, hey, they're kissing. I mean, they could just change that audio and you wouldn't know. But I kind of, on the same token, admired that it was in a way underwhelming because it's like, hey, they're gay, but that's not the focus of the whole thing. It's like
Yeah.
it was a good wrap up or a good like, yep, this happened, but they didn't harp on it as like because I mean there was a lot of shit going on in that episode.
Mhm.
So
Leave it to
yeah.
Adventure Time to have a finale where like 12 million different things are going on and they all get resolved in the most underwhelming way possible.
Well, I think what HuggBees was trying to say is that like if queer representation becomes less of an event and just a regular day of life, then we achieved what we've been working for. It's been
Yeah.
normalized.
Like I didn't want the scene to be like as soon as they kissed, a big banner rolled across the sky and said they're gay, get over it. Like I think it was fine how they did it. And I will say though, no, go ahead, Nolan.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna add. I didn't like how the scene was boarded. Like, because like they have been building this up the whole series that Bubblegum and Marceline were a thing, and now they're a thing again. Like they got over all their issues and they can finally be together. But like the way they boarded it was just shot, reverse shot, then like a medium, not medium shot, like a long shot of them just kissing, and it's like kind of voyeuristic and like really not intimate at all, which is what it should have been. And I'm just kind of like, why'd you do it like that? I mean, the international thing makes sense to me, like that theory, but at the same time, if you're gonna go for it, like, go for it, you cowards, you fiends. But
the only real
Go
offense I took to the episode though was they got the classic we got to fill everyone in syndrome for the finale. Where I'm sure you guys know about the Family Guy, where when Brian died, that bullshit with like our dog Brian Griffin is dead, and like all the garbage they try to do for plot consistency. The one time where I was like, oh god, they couldn't have done that better is when Gunter got the wishing crown. And Jake had to come in from the side and go, don't let him wish. By the way, I forgot to tell everyone, if you could listen to me, he's an even space alien trapped in a penguin. Don't forget this plot point. It's like, oh, all right, we really needed to be, ham-fisted that. I just thought that was weird.
I completely forgot what that is about Gunter, if anything. It's like, what? Huh?
Yeah, it just felt unnecessary. Like I thought the whole point with Gunter was like he's evil, he's secretly super evil, and I was like, okay, I get that, and they could express that with context clues. But then Jake has to deliver a 20-minute monologue on how, oh, by the way, he is an evil space alien from the planet Zoltan who is going to do evil things. Like it just felt unnecessary. It felt like weird.
It would set up a joke.
It's too on the nose.
Yeah. And I did like the joke, but I agree with Pan. I think it was a little too direct.
Yeah.
It kind of took me out a little bit.
But,
like it was clearly the writing room going, well, the kids aren't going to know if they're not paying attention, or the adults, like, I don't know. It felt a little forced.
Nintendo, shout out to Nintendo, youtube.com, also did an Adventure Time recap, and he pointed out that was like an actual episode that Gunther was an evil space alien who was turned into a penguin by the gods of the Adventure Time universe, and he spent eternity roaming around Earth and being a penguin. And to me, that's just kind of like, because when I look back on like all the Gunther jokes where he's just kind of like a fucked up evil penguin for some reason, like with Hudson, the vampire dad, it's just kind of like, well, it's not really that funny anymore because you gave it all this baggage that it didn't need. It's just like he was funnier when he was just an evil penguin. And to me, that's like emblematic of Adventure Time's like bigger problems in general. Like people are like, oh, it's a slice of life show. And then I'm like, well, what about all this lore shit here? And they're like, oh, just ignore that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you can't do that.
I had that same problem on kind of the whole with it, because I was flashing back to just my young days as a little youth, skipping home from school to watch Adventure Time, where remember the first episodes where it was like the whole plot is Finn finds some businessmen and some ice, and then they fuck off, and that's the whole plot. Or Finn goes to meet a magician and he curses him to talk backwards, or I don't know, something. And that's the whole plot. Now Adventure Time's like, we begin at the eve of this dawning hour as these characters enter the play from the previous action. It's like, they try to get everything together into a concise package, but there's a lot of stuff that if you're not paying attention, you just lose a lot of the meat of it. Like,
Also,
I didn't even. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Izzy. Go.
All I want to say was I think a lot of the characters are a lot more charming when you don't know their lore.
Yeah.
Like, when Jake's just a magical transforming dog and you don't know he's half alien or some shit. Or like the what was it, the Peppermint? It's like an evil guy. That's fun. A Gunter being an evil penguin. Yeah, that's adorable.
The whole thing with Fern. I guess that's the Finn Grassblade turned into a monster man. And
his clone.
I had literally never seen Fern before watching this finale. I knew of the Grassblade, but that was it. And then it came in and I was like, oh, he's a cool little grass monster. That's apparently a clone of Finn. That's great. But then towards the end of the episode, they're like, I have to get this octopus off of his body because that'll give him a body, but it's bad. And now we're at the beach. And I was like, well, yeah, if I had kept up with the show, this would have meant something to me. But I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I honestly just like it just became so like self-absorbed in its own like nonsensical bullshit. Like I remember, I think my dropping off point was the Lemon Hope 2-parter, which came like either after or right before Betty, which was like a really, really rushed and poorly thought out episode where Betty gets put into ooh. But it was like Lemon Hope, and all it was just these dumb dream sequences that were just like, guys, it's so deep. We're so deep. It was like a college student was like, oh man, I'm gonna write like a screenplay for a show, and it's gonna be so deep, you guys. And it wasn't deep at all. It was just kind of embarrassing to watch. I just, like I said, like Adventure Time was so much more appealing when it was like the adventures of a boy and his dog, and there's like more stuff going on like right outside of their grasp. And now it's instead a half alien dog born from the head of his dad that was impregnated by a weird stretchy space alien, and this mutated post-nuclear apocalyptic boy who also lost his arm multiple times and has been possessed, and it has like multiple lives and spirits and shit, deal with the fallout of nuclear war. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That
Like, I didn't make a lick of that up. That's all canon. That's all stuff in the show.
I loved when the lore was very much just show don't tell, where it was like it's a post-nuclear apocalypse and there's remnants of the real world. Like harking back to, I bring it up because the businessman episode was one of my favorites of the whole series, because it's like they're businessmen frozen in ice. They're from before. They only know the business world and this and that. It's like you can piece together, the mushroom wars, mushroom clouds, and this and that. They never explicitly say they were nukes, but you can piece together that's where this world came from. And it was so much cooler
agree.
when,
100.
when you didn't get all the pieces. It's like it's cool to just leave stuff to the imagination, or kind of you can see where the connections are. But if they tell you everything, then it's like, okay, well now it's just a storybook. Now I'm just waiting for the next part. There's nothing else for me to discover or think about.
Yeah, that's a problem with like a lot of shows now, even like bigger productions, like I'm thinking like Moffat, Doctor Who, and Sherlock, where it's like oh wow, geez, boy, you sure better stick around for the next episode where we answer that question we didn't really think about, and then they just keep stringing you along until you get disappointed multiple times. and again, I'm only reiterating this because I absolutely hate this defense for Adventure Time that it's better as a slice of life show. No, stop that. Squirt my water bottle on you.
Yogurt chip.
What time is it?
Oh my gosh.
What time is it?
Adventure Time!
Yeah, man!
A new cartoon this April on Cartoon Network.
I don't know. I legitimately think that Adventure Time was its best when it was kind of random humor.
Same.
I don't think it really needed explanations or anything. Like you said, just a boy and his dog going adventures, and it's weird, kooky, some really weird dialogue that doesn't make any like normal sense, but it's quirky and could be put on a shirt. That was season 1's the Adventure Time for me.
I really miss when Adventure Time just didn't give a fuck about overarching or points, where episodes would literally end where Jake would just fart and the episode would end. Or literally the episode would end when they go, hey, we've finished it. What do we do now? And I don't know, Finn would go, let's break stuff. And the last scene would them just be them breaking shit in their treehouse for no reason. because there's no point. It's just a fun little adventure show. That was definitely my favorite as well when it was that kind of
I
tone.
feel the problem was it's essentially too many cooks in the kitchen where I feel like Adventure Time started when like social media was really picking up and we finally knew who each individual artists were working on these shows, and you can tell each of them had an influence on the show and they all shaped it into something, and it just developed into something completely different as it went along. And I don't know, it feels like they didn't really have a consistent plan. They thought, hey, let's try this lore thing and see where this goes.
Right. I've legitimately thought about it a lot. Like, I don't know why Adventure Time of all shows had me thinking about this, but I'm really curious of what the season 1 writers room, if you could like freeze them in time and then bring them to the present and like talk to them about like what their plans for if they had to make a finale today, if it would have lined up at all. Like where was the ship going in season 1 versus where it
I don't think
ended?
they had a plan really. I think they just were just making fun episodes and thought, hey, let's just try the lore thing.
The way they wrote episodes, they did like, or at least came up with them, were drawing games. Like they would draw a picture and then they would toss it to somebody else and they would try to come up with like a beat plot for it. Like this happens, and then it finishes with this. So all of the episodes were created via fun drawing games, which works for a cartoon that's episodic, funny, has like a random sense of humor, idiosyncratic. But like they never really changed their tactics for plot related stuff. I feel like they didn't have a very organized like story room or anything, because I remember asking on Adam Muto's Sprint FM way back in the day, and I was like, so how do you guys plan out? And they're like, no, we just write by the seat of our pants. And then he deleted it, and I'm like, wonder why that is. Of course, I can't bring that up because it's anecdotal evidence now, but take it with however you want. I remember it happened. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine. I don't care. But yeah.
I have a question. How do you guys feel about the Finn and Jake future proxies? I forgot what
I
their
love
names.
them. They were my favorite part of the whole episode. I'm sad that we don't get to see more of them. I thought they were awesome.
What was it again? What's that?
Sherm and Pup, I think.
Oh, right, those things.
Sherman, Dog Princess or Puppy Princess or something.
Yeah, I like that because it's the idea of the theme song, "The fun will never end." There's just going to always be more adventures. Like, that's cute. I like that. And I like how also they end it with like everybody just keeps having adventures even after the Gumball War or whatever the fuck. So it's like they're still doing stuff. Like they can come back to it whenever if they wanted to. Not that they should.
Yeah.
They shouldn't.
Yeah.
The thought that like Finn and Jake are out there still having adventures is kind of comforting. I like that. That's what they chose to end it.
Yeah. I mean, that was 100% intentional though, because even then the last shot is Sherm holding up the sword, literally a redraw of the original title screen. I mean, it's clear that from the whole intention was like, hey, you know, everyone's doing their own thing, but then these guys are doing their own thing. I can appreciate a world where you establish it enough that when it ends, you still get this good head sense of like, yeah, things are still happening, or oh, here's something that would happen, or what they would do, and this and that, you know? It ended, but it doesn't truly end. It's a good way to end that kind of show where the whole point is, you know, there's always stuff going on. There's always life in this world. I sound like a bumbling idiot, but I hope I get across what I'm trying to say.
I get you.
No, you don't. It's poignant. I agree. It's a comforting thought. It's a comforting ending.
I remember this like making of documentary for Samurai Jack when it first premiered. They said some artist said,
"Yeah, I don't know what actually happens to Jack ultimately. I almost don't want to know. I just want to keep having adventures with Jack."
He didn't have a great Christmas, did he?
Look, he got, you know, it's fine.
He kind of does. Jack does kind of have more adventures. Like he's still immortal, and the ending shot where he's under the cherry blossom tree and the mist slowly parts and you see this great expanse. I feel like it's the same type of ending, just a lot more somber.
Also, if you
I think people are too hard on season 5. Fuck y'all.
I agree.
I can't. I would be okay with it if they just added like another 5 minutes of like a montage of seeing like one, confirming that Jack is still immortal, and then two, seeing him in the future and seeing kind of proxies, because obviously the same characters wouldn't exist without Aku fucking up everything. But I would really have liked to see him kind of become a wandering samurai walking around and just seeing like good versions or like happy versions of the characters he ran into. Because otherwise, every time he ever stopped and didn't jump into a portal and fought something was undone. It makes it so redundant.
I feel like that's what the final shot was supposed to imply with the ladybug, because he just lets it go, and then the mist parts. There's a big expanse. Everything's sunny and happy. Jack's still immortal because it's still the same Jack. Like, he didn't go back in time and erase himself, and then the new Jack took his place. It's still the same Jack.
Well,
so to me, it's kind of. I would have agreed. I agree. I would have liked to see him meet proxies, but like I can feel like they try to imply that, so that's good enough for me. I'm not saying it's an amazing ending, but I think it gets too much shit.
Well, I don't know if that's true
fine.
or not, though, about whether or not he's immortal. I know that you're like implying it, but with the time being fixed, while he has all his memories and such, we don't know if like whatever time effect of him going through the portal with him back in the proper time is that mortality glitch or curse still there.
The implication is that he traveled in time, therefore he's immortal. That's the implication. It was like a curse Aku had on him, so I'm assuming it's still stuck. Yeah, but like I'm assuming it's just a glitch that sticks with him. Let's go ask Gendy. Let's go travel to like fucking Burbank right now. Everybody hop in my car. Just
yeah, we'll go there. And he'll be in the middle of stores and say, I already moved off from that piece of shit. Didn't Gendy say in interviews that he always wanted the ending to be Jack gets married, and it was kind of somber? Like, he always said from the beginning that he wanted the ending to be kind of a conclusive, just, this is the end of the warrior type thing.
Maybe.
The end of his long-ass fucking journey, and it ends with his GF pulling a Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
The big thing with it, though, is that I think it ended how it kind of had to. Like, it's hard to say that it made sense, but it did the way they kind of set everything up. I think the big problem that everyone has with it that they kind of don't pull out to be objective is those first 3 episodes were just so fucking good. Especially in comparison to the tone of the other episodes and it coming back and this and that. How were they going to live up to starting like that? What ending could you pull out to be as good as you got this grand revival, this 10-year comeback, this entire new direction that still's faithful to the old one, these really well-directed written sequences, this whole new character shift with Jack finally killing humans and this and that. You have so much going on and such quality. It's like, what the fuck kind of ending are they going to pull out to even live up to that,
I got you. Let him keep the goddamn beard all the way through.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that fucking turned me off so hardcore, is when he got the sword back and all of a sudden he's clean shaved. I was like, no, let's not go back to the first series character model. And he got his nipples back, I think.
Why is he white? Why is he white? Those fucking racists.
Oh God, I completely agree.
I will say. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to make a dumb comment on that. I think that the absolute turning nosedive point of that is when he grabs the sword and he's just back to normal, and the show's just like, yep, we're going back to this again. Here we go.
Also, they didn't they have an episode where the guy said like he couldn't walk through the portal because it wasn't his time, and then they showed like a fast forward. I think if they would have somehow ended on that, I think that would be really satisfying, because it would have tied everyone back together.
The big tough blue bodyguard guy is like, oh, it's not your time, samurai. And like, they show Jack being this kick-ass king and doing all these adventures. I wish that the last shot of the show was him. Like, do you guys agree with me? I thought about this for a while after it ended. I think that the best way they could have ended it was later in the final episode. They're like, okay, Jack, go back in time, go save the day, go fight a coup. And he's like, nah, fuck that, dude. Like that, I live here now. I'm the samurai of the future. We stopped a coup and now we gotta fix the world, because I'm not gonna abandon all you guys and this and that. And then, the final shot's like him being that cool warrior king and leading, the world.
100%. I'm with you.
I think that would have been a much more compelling ending and an actual evolution of Jack's character.
The show's not actually over technically, because for the original series, it ended on episode 52, and the new series, the first episode is episode 70, I think. So they intentionally left several episode numbers blank in between. So there's still some unfinished things. So I'm curious when they'll.
So they're gonna pull a Star Wars,
Yeah.
and it's gonna come out and suck ass and ruin it.
Oh no.
No.
George Lucas is gonna direct it.
Oh.
We got a scene here with Samurai Jack, and he's grown a beard and he has a nice hat, and he tries to save the kids from the evil Accumulus. It's gonna rule the galaxy.
I mean, didn't like George Lucas not like the 2D Clone Wars? So I guess this is his revenge.
Clone Troopers unite!
That'd be insane though, because the 2D Clone Wars was great, and also made by Kennedy Tarkovsky.
Yeah. So I guess this is his revenge, and it's like, it's my turn now to make Samurai Jack. Let's see how you like it.
You didn't put Jar Jar in the Clone Wars. This is my revenge for that.
Oh.
I remember how Gendy made General Grievous way too fucking cool. So what they do is they have fucking Mace Windu like strangle his heart or something, and he's like, and now that's why he's coughing and stuff in episode 3.
Yeah.
It's because Gendy made him too cool, so George was like, make him weaker, make him worse.
Yeah, and then they wanted to completely get rid of any coolness factor by having his response to seeing Kenobi go, General Kenobi, and I don't know, the most like, what am I inviting you to dinner because I'm a pirate king line? Like, Jesus, what the fuck were they thinking with that whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
All I can think of, like, the best thing about Star Wars, period, is that because of one throwaway line in The Revenge of the Sith where General Grievous says he's meeting Anakin for the first time, like in the Clone Wars like 3D series, they have to contrive ways for them not to meet, even though they're like figureheads in a giant war, and they could have met several times. That's just like the best thing to me, because they have to be like, okay, Anakin and General Grievous cannot meet, and we have to make this show last for many, many years. God damn it.
And it's coming back.
So funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's just silly.
What was when that show premiered? What were your guys' thoughts on it? Because like I was like, this ain't Genndy Tartakovsky. What's the point of this thing? It looks like Team America.
Team America.
They're both kind of based on Thunderbird, so it all made sense. I progressively grew to love it.
I'm sorry, I checked out. You guys were talking about Star Wars.
Well, it's Star Wars: The Clone Wars. That's a show that's coming back. It's relevant.
Oh no, I know. I just don't really care for Star Wars.
I'm gonna throw myself under the bus. I haven't seen this premiere. I knew of it, but I haven't seen any footage.
Izzy, are you gonna throw a fit and leave a call like Pan did?
No, I'm an adult.
Okay. On the subject of Clone Wars, though, I didn't see much of it, but I hear like George like wanted the animation to look super good, so like they were operating on a loss pretty much.
Yeah.
George, it was just a passion project of George's, so he was like, I just want the animation to look really good, so I'm going to spend a lot of money on it.
It was an art style that was kind of divisive.
Yeah, then he tried to make the Robot Chicken style Star Wars show, and that didn't work.
Like, I'm hoping they release that once that Disney streaming service comes about.
They never will.
No.
Disney will never do it.
Believe.
Disney hates you.
Believe.
I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't keep up with the Star Wars, the CG Clone Wars, but from what episodes I saw, it was pretty good. And surprisingly, they were very violent on this show. Like, they were flat out, like, stab people on camera.
Even fucking existed.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I forgot that show even existed. Wow. Is that the show where, like, the what's the Star Wars alien with the big, long tentacle head, and they got, like, orange faces?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know?
That girl. Orange
One
girl.
of them's a Jedi. She's, like, important.
I know who you're referring to.
Yeah, isn't there like a scene in there that everyone makes fun of because like she's surrounded by a bunch of stormtroopers and they're like, "We've got you surrounded, you're fucked," and then she just like off camera jumps and they're all dead or something, and it's like really terrible animation. Like I see it talked about a lot.
Did they shoot each other?
Maybe it was that. I don't know.
I mean, if they miss all the time, they probably shot at each other.
Yeah, they probably said, "You know what, fuck this," and just started taking each other out. She can't take us out if we take us out.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on your own terms.
Okay. I don't let we can't bore Izzy, so we need to come up with a new subject.
Oh no, you guys talk about what you want to talk about. It's totally cool. Like,
What if Samurai Jack was in Star Wars?
Oh my god! Is that a fucking Star Wars?
Oh my god!
Look, Mace Windu was basically Samurai Jack.
We can move on. I am also a grumpy old man who fucking hates Star Wars by this point.
Didn't say please. I got a bad feeling about this.
Just another kitty, boys.
Wait a minute.
Oh, hey, I got a question for everybody. What's a video game you've been playing this week? Mostly because I want to talk about Hollow Knight.
Because when I'm having a good time, when I'm having a good day, and I want to smile, I've been playing Yakuza 0.
I want to play Yakuza.
Oh yeah.
God, they're so goddamn good. There is nothing more hype in this universe than actually getting into Yakuza. Oh,
I really want to. I want to play the mission where I beat up ADDLs.
Yeah, Yakuza is the game where he grabs a handful of nails, like actual like carpentry nails, and puts them in a guy's mouth, and then uppercuts his jaw, and he's fine. Like he walks it off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One of my fans donated to me Yakuza, and I'm like, I gotta play this soon.
They're so fun.
Eventually.
They're just pure unrelenting fun from start to finish.
I'm excited to play them. I just gotta buy them, but I just bought Spider-Man, so.
Oh, is it
Spider-Man
fun?
is really fucking. It's so much fun. I love it. Spider-Man is a great game.
Man.
See, I was gonna say on the other side of the coin when I'm feeling bad, I'll play Spider-Man because I am really unimpressed with it. I hate to be the Debbie Downer. I'm not digging it.
Ooh.
No, that's fine. I'm just
Why?
curious as to why. Like, it's been getting a lot of praise, so I'd like to hear a detractor.
So I'm only like 5-6 hours in, so I'm still gonna play it. I'm still into it. I'm not gonna dismiss it or be like, oh, I'm doing the early shit. It sucks. It feels like an Arkham game, which is one of my favorite series. It is. It feels like an Arkham game, which is one of my favorite series, but one that they had to cram every modern games must have this checklist item into. It's like you need the radio towers because fuck exploring the city. Just point out where everything is. You need the backpacks, which are collectibles, but then you can push the radar button and it points to exactly where the backpack is. So fuck trying to find it. Just go walk up to it. You need the free flow combat, which Arkham did really well, but the problem is that Spider-Man is aerial based, so you can just spam knocking dudes off of roofs or into the water just over and over again, which is what I've been doing
unless
for every fight.
Unless that's not an option, because sometimes they'll huddle closer to the center of a building or something.
That is true, and I'm guessing that later in the game there's enemies you can't do it to, so I'm not harping on that one. But so far, literally every fight, I've just been like, I'm going to keep knocking these guys into the walls or off the wall or off the ceiling because they just instantly die. I don't know. I'm not impressed, and I think the problem is it's a good game. I think it is actually a good game, but with all the hype around it, I'm not on board yet. I'm not with it.
That's your problem right there, my friend. Never buy into the hype train ever. Just have your keep your own expectations in check is what I do, and I usually have fun with most games.
Now that the entire go ahead.
I was just going to say I agree with your critiques of the game and wanted to add that the stealth is completely irrelevant. Like, you don't even need it.
And you move at such fucking Mach speed when you're trying to line up stuff. You either like run at 1,000 miles an hour or creep at a snail's pace. Batman's stealth worked in Arkham because his moveset was intuitive to it. With Spider-Man, it's like all the movement is based around swinging fast and running at 1,000 miles an hour. So you try to translate that to stealth, and it's just clunky. I've missed so many takedowns because I'm just fumbling with trying to make him stop.
Yeah, but like also with Arkham, like getting caught was a huge like deal because gunshots can take you out really quickly, and like there are multiple armed guys. So if you're not careful, you will die very fast, and you'd have to like avoid them. But with Spider-Man, it's like, oh, Spider-Man can take a little bit of damage, and he can also dodge, and like he has a very, very good combat system that caters to like avoiding gunshots and stuff. So it's like, if you get caught, you might as well just beat them up, because by the time you try to avoid them and lose them, like you would have just beaten them up already and moved on.
And not only that, but my favorite new feature of the whole game is, you remember in Batman when you had to plan your stealth takedowns, you had the detective vision, but you'd be like, well, I can't choke that guy out. His friend will see me or shoot me, or oh, that guy's got a radar on him. If I knock him out, everyone will know. Do you enjoy how in the new Spider-Man game, literally there's a little sign above every enemy that says "safe to take down," not safe to take down. So you don't even have to think about it anymore.
I think that was a thing in Arkham, though, at least one of them. I feel like they just did it differently, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking that some enemies that don't have weapons are highlighted in blue and others in red, maybe.
Yeah, but the thing with that is that's guns. I mean, in Spider-Man, it's literally, they have a little sign and it says either danger or safe, and it's, if you take this guy down, you will be seen or not be seen. Like, it literally tells you. You don't have to.
I feel like, though, that's like them trying to make up for bad design, though, because like there's no clear way to tell when, like, even when I think, oh, this guy is safe to take down, it'll say danger, and I'm like, wait, really? Like, somebody would notice that? And also the camera, like they design the stealth in a way that the camera is like way too close to you, so you can't see them. Like usually, like with Batman will be to like the bottom left corner, and like you'll have all this space on the screen to see and plan out stuff. But with Spider-Man, it's like the camera's like trying to compensate for like these low ceilings or like something else. And it's like, God damn it.
Yeah, there were times I was climbing up buildings. I mean, there were times I was climbing up buildings and I'd try to like scope out the building before I go up so I can plan, who to take down and all that. But the camera just sticks on Spider-Man's ass. So you literally can't see who's on top of the building. So how are you supposed to plan a stealth attack when it's a stealth mission when you literally can't see where you're going? But having ranted about all that and literally probably turned every listener against me, I will say, I think the swinging is amazingly enjoyable. I think they did a really good job at the world, and I think the game is fun. I think it has a ton of nitpicks that I'm kind of getting brought down by, but I think overall it is a good and fun game to play.
How dare you? Because
I know, right?
I've seen previews. You can you can do the finger gunning people in the crowd.
Yeah.
Best game ever, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, really. You can have a failed marriage proposal on a movie theater in the game, 10 out of 10.
Explain
was
that.
It failed?
Yeah, and not only that, she started fucking the guy's brother.
Explain that for the audience.
Yeah, for those of you who are not caught up on that, some dude was asking, it's Insomniac, right? I think it's Insomniac. But he was like tweeting at them like, hey, I'm going to propose to my girlfriend. It'd be really sweet and nice and great. And could you like, I don't know, hide somewhere in there? Will you marry me, Maddie? It'd mean a lot. And then the game comes out, and not only did they break up weeks before the game released, but apparently she left him for his brother. So what a fun time all around.
I feel so bad.
Now they're gonna have to patch that out. I wonder if they'll patch a joke in. That'd be brutal.
Just patch in "fuck you, Maddie."
Go fuck yourself, Maddie. No, they're gonna patch in Samurai Jack's ending sucked.
But yeah, even though me and HuggBees over here ripped the game apart, I will say on my behalf that I still enjoyed the game quite a bit. Even if it's a little handholdy, the combat's a bit more difficult than Batman, I'd say.
Oh yeah, that was where I was impressed. I think that it's definitely a different feel up to it. I thought they were going to copy and paste, but there were times where I was really getting fucked because I was so used to Arkham combat.
Oh, how would you compare this to Spider-Man 2 or whatever you feel is the best Spider-Man game?
Oh, baby. As a small boy who went to Blockbuster and rented Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1 as one of his favorite games, I can give you some notes. I mean, I have to say it's definitely the best Spider-Man game ever made so far from what I've been in. I'm being really hard on it because, again, kind of bought into the hype. And coming from Arkham, which is the same kind of game and one of my favorite series ever made, I had high expectations. But I do think that objectively, it is by far the best Spider-Man game and still fun, still good. It's still a quality game. It's just, I think it's a bit rougher than people are giving it credit for.
Yeah, if anything, it makes me hopeful for its sequel, and I feel like they're gonna improve it all across the board. Hopefully,
are they doing like a trilogy?
Maybe they might do. I think they're setting up an Avengers style type universe thing, like because that's
Oh.
all.
Oh, you reminded me of the other one. Did you leave the music on?
What music?
The
no.
Spider-Man. Okay, yeah, I turned it off because after 4 straight continuous hours of na 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 just blasting in the background as you web swing, I got so agitated with it I had to mute the music in the game.
Here's a couple of things I heard about the game that I thought was cool. The finger thing was cool, but like apparently you can get a cell shaded costume in the game where it looks like it's from the comics.
Really?
I saw like it's so good that I saw screenshots and I thought people drew over it.
That is cool.
I haven't unlocked that yet, but I hope to get it soon. I feel like you have to beat the game to do that, and I haven't beaten it yet.
Okay.
I've taken my time with it and only played it in 5-hour bursts.
And then apparently Black Cat's going to be in it as DLC or something.
She's already in it.
Oh, okay.
But not like her. It's like can unlock a side quest that revolves around her. One thing I'm glad is that instead of shit like the Riddler trophies, they have variations of it where it's like certain characters have certain like collectibles you can get. Like the backpacks are my favorite because it's like Spider-Man like reminiscing over old shit. Like this isn't much of a spoiler, but one of them is just like a bag with like a toothbrush, toothpaste, and deodorant, and he's like, "Don't have much time to really take care of myself. Got to fit it in when I can." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so cute." That's sad because he's constantly working.
I got to give them huge props on nailing the feel of Spider-Man. They definitely did a great job capturing the world and the character and the presentation of you are Spider-Man. This is the world of Spider-Man, all that shit.
I'm so glad they chose like alternative, like self-contained continuity and like this older Spider-Man instead of like trying to retell the origin story like 50 million times.
The Peter Parker who literally looks like Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield did the fusion dance.
Yeah, basically. HuggBees, is it just me or does Peter's eyes look like way too big?
Yeah,
have you noticed that?
Every time he's on screen, I kind of close my eyes. I think he looks really awkward to look at. He's almost Uncanny Valley, actually. In a way.
Yeah, and it's not even the way he's animated or like portrayed. It's like just how he's modeled. Like they make his eyes like slightly bigger than normal, and it's gross, and I hate it. Stop it. No. Bad and some.
Yeah. Did you the other thing I remembered, my actual favorite part of the game, have you been taking photos of the landmarks?
Yeah.
Okay, the game does not give a shit about how you do it. So like I'd go up to, I don't know, the art museum, and I'd take a photo of the stairs just in front of it, and they'd be like, "Oh, you got a photo of the landmark. Good job." I went to Avengers Tower and I stood on a nearby building and took a photo of the roof of that building, but because the very corner of it had Avengers Tower in it, they counted it. I went to the movie theater and I took a photo of the floor in front of the movie theater and they counted it. Like it's a lot of fun if you haven't done all of them. Just try to find like the worst picture you can take that they still count. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of how, like, in The Last of Us, they were like, well, Ellie, we don't want people to hate Ellie. So during stealth sections, she's going to run around and, like literally just, like, hug a clicker and it won't bother them. It sort of reminds me of that, where they choose convenience over, like, really tedious, busy work, which I guess is fine, but it's still funny.
What was the guy in Last of Us who had the gay partner and he lived on his own in his house? He had the car and he drives you at the end in the middle of the game. Do you guys remember him? He was like a friend, and he had all the traps. That was like the first time when you
Tommy. No, it was the weird hermit guy.
Yeah, the hermit guy. I distinctly remember the one thing that pulled me out of The Last of Us was the Ellie was kind of bad, but I was like, whatever. Tommy's big thundering footsteps just echo and crash everywhere he goes. So like he'd be running with Ellie and she'd kind of be sneaking around, but then Tommy would run in front of zombies with dom 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 dom, and they wouldn't even notice it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. But The Last of Us is a 10 out of 10 experience and is totally not overrated or boring whatsoever.
Oh.
Don't at me, people. Naughty Dog's overrated. Yeah. Fight me in the street.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
So
Getting opinions.
Tired of these.
What have you been playing?
Oh, one thing I gotta ask about Spider-Man, is it overly like cinematic where they take you out of the gameplay too much?
They have a fair bit of cutscenes, but they're paced pretty well. Like none of them go over like 2 or 3 minutes.
I'd say sometimes it gets a bit walking simulatory. Like they hide load times by having you crawl through vents a lot. And there's definitely cutscenes of I'm walking around now and waiting for the story to progress. But I think it does a good job of actually keeping gameplay going.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's paced well, which is just as important. I'm surprised though that Arkham Knight, like, which is a game that came out years ago, had more seamless like loading times than Spider-Man does. Spider-Man's not as well optimized as Arkham Knight, even though I'd say Spider-Man is the better game.
I think that's
Arkham Knight was so disappointing.
I think that's a big reason that I'm not able to like jump on the huge hype bandwagon of cascading this game like everyone else. Because it's like if this came out in, I don't know, 2012, 13, I'd lose my mind over it. But I mean, again, I don't want to fanboy, but the Arkham series did this exact thing, but I think it just did it better. You know, we're what 3 years after the last one.
I think they do. I think they're on the same quality. I just think that Arkham City. I think Arkham City is the best Arkham game.
I agree. I completely agree.
I prefer Asylum more because I like horror aesthetics a lot better, and I was really mad when City just ditched it all for like more standard action game fare. But I'd say they're on the same level. But Batman is much more tighter, well paced, has a lot more stuff going on that's different and unique. And then Arkham Knight is just kind of like more of that, but blander. Thanks, Rockstar.
I mean, like that's what's kind of dragging me with Spider-Man. It's like Spider-Man, part of the whole point of a Spider-Man game and what makes a fun Spider-Man game and designing around Spider-Man is the traversal, the web swinging, the running really fast, the moving with your environment, like literally like being Super Mario, but with web swinging. Like that's fun. Why the shit would you give me radio towers to point out every objective when part of the fun is going around the map? And walking around the map. Like I'd rather it just pop up as I'm web swinging over a crime like side quest, and it's like Spider-Man goes, "Oh shit, look, there's some crime going on. I better web swing down there at some point." Instead of, "Oh, I know there's crime over there because I hacked this radio tower." That's fun.
I feel like I don't agree to that extent, but I feel like they could have done like a way to like mitigate that. Like instead of pointing out everything on the map, it gives you like a sort of there are certain missions where it'll give you like a zone where it's like, oh, something might be around here. You should go look. I feel like they should have done that for every collectible. Like, depending on the vicinity you're in, you can see like depending on how close it is, it'll be more pointed out on the map, you know? But if it's farther away, you kind of have to go explore over in that general direction. I feel like that would have been a better balance because right now I do agree that like they do point out stuff way too much for you. Like, here's this and that and that and that and that.
Yeah. And the problem is it's a trend that was on the way out. I mean, if you look at like Ubisoft is the biggest guilty party of towers that point out everything. I mean, Far Cry 5 comes out and literally one of the first things they do is have you do one tower and he goes, "All right, that turned every tower online. I'm not going to have you do that again. Ha ha ha." But here comes Spider-Man in 2018 still doing the whole radio tower thing. You know, it just feels like they're kind of behind, you know, like it was developed a long time ago and just stuck in the game until it was finished, you know. But that's my opinion, and I'm a cynical old man. What can I say?
No, yeah, I'm just as cynical, dude. Everybody gives me shit for it. I will sit on my high horse and fall off it and break my leg if I have to.
Is the high horse named Samurai Jack had a good ending?
Yes.
In general, I'm just tired of open world games because, like, I feel like more should take inspiration from Mario Odyssey. Like I've said this before, but just have all the missions already active, and you can just like complete them just by messing around without actually having to talk to someone and accepting a mission. You know?
I completely agree.
Reward you for just messing around.
Like Odyssey is a incredible example of we jammed it full of content, but it's always fun content. When I was doing Spider-Man, I fucking hated doing the towers. I literally just did them all as quickly as I could to get them out of the way because I hated doing it. But you can't even see the map until you do it. Mario Odyssey is just, hey, here's all this content. Do whatever you want. It was just perfect. Yeah, it's great.
Honestly, Odyssey is like a fucking masterpiece. I'm still mad that it's a better Sonic game than the Sonic games they've been making recently.
What?
Mario has a dedicated roll feature that has proper physics, and Sonic hasn't been able to do that for over a decade, and it makes me mad.
Isn't it sad that the last like 4 good Sonic games have been Smash Brothers?
Generations was good. Colors was okay. No, here's the thing. Generations is my favorite Sonic game of all time. I think it's one of the best ones because it's like it cuts out all the bullshit. Like there is bullshit in it, but most of it is optional, so you can just skip anything you don't like, and then just play like most of the game. It's very tight, condensed fun. And then right after that, they released Sonic Lost World, which is by far one of the worst Sonic games I've ever fucking played. And God, it made me so mad. Just like you have the best Sonic game, and then right after that, you go back to your bullshit. Thank you, Sonic Team. Thank you. Thank you. I hate it. But God, but back on Mario Odyssey, I think another thing is that it's this sort of like weird paradox where people are like, we want it bigger and more stuff to do. And in order to do that, a lot of game designers and developers have to like copy and paste stuff, either that or spend many years and a lot of money. And only Rockstar can do that because they have that clout to like make genuinely unique content for such a big open world. But I prefer stuff that's like, more dense and like smaller and just has a lot more stuff to do, because most of the fun of Mario Odyssey is just like exploring using Cappy, because like he's that versatile and taking over enemies and stuff.
Well, the number
Like,
one
that's a
thing
lot
with
more fun.
Mario is that they always make sure Mario is fun to play with first, and then they design
Yeah.
levels around that.
Right. Which is very smart. Very smart.
They did that with the Spider-Man web swinging too. That was the first thing they got out of the way, was to make sure web swinging was fun, and it shows, because that's like the most well thought out fun part of the game. Like every little nook and cranny of New York, Spider-Man interacts with in an interesting and unique way, animation or way. Like when you're running up a wall, if you're running on top of like fire escapes, like he'll like web onto them and like hop on each individual fire escape. Like it's very meticulous, very well done. And then after that, it's sort of like become like, then they do the combat, and then like the mission. I feel like the mission design, if anything, was the thing they worried about the least, because that's where I can see like the least amount of creativity. Like the Oscorp stations are kind of cool, the backpacks are great, and then everything else is just kind of like crime. Go stop it.
Well, I was going to go on a different tangent. I didn't want to interrupt your thought. I thought I was. No. Okay, well,
go on your tangent. I want to hear it.
To backpedal a bit, but to go on to what you're saying with what you appreciate in game design, if I could just handily recommend Yakuza 0 again, because let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, the world direction and design is the best I've seen in a game in probably the last 5 years, because they give you an open world, but it's small, it's directed. Nearly every building literally has a purpose, and all of it is open. It's got a ton of mini games and they're fun. And then at a certain point in the game, not that far into this mission, I was like, I'm going to do karaoke because that sounds fucking rad. And then I did like hours of just the karaoke minigame because it's fun. And then maybe I'd get 10 more hours into the story, and they go, now we have to teach you the karaoke tutorial because it's part of the story. I was like, well, I already did that because you let me play it. And they're like, we know, but hey, you had the option. And it's just so great because they have this whole world where everything has a purpose. Every building can be interacted with. There's something to do, and it's not just, I don't know, like this open nonsense, nothing, or bland, or just, it's pockmarked with stuff. I think you would love it. I'm highly recommending this game to you.
I know I absolutely have been interested in Yakuza. It's just that I'm a cheap bastard, and I wait until Steam games are on sale to buy them.
This time, there's nowhere he can't go. In Spider-Man 2, the game, you have the freedom to go wherever you want, whenever you want. Use amazing new abilities to hop from blacktop to rooftop and save the city one crime at a time. Spider-Man 2, the game. Rated T for teen.
Somebody asked a question here, which I think we should all answer. Sinji41 says, what's your guilty pleasure game that you play? Like a game that's so bad. They say, like, what's the game you play when you're having a bad day and just want to escape for a bit? Well, that's not a guilty pleasure game. That's just like a comfort game. Like a guilty pleasure game is like a game you know is bad, but like you enjoy it anyway. I'll go with that one because that one's a more interesting question. Do you guys have a guilty pleasure game, a game you know is fucking garbo, but you play it anyway?
Not really. I have such a little amount of time to play actual video games between like working all the time that like I just try to like buy the best games possible since I'm going to be limiting myself to so much time.
Mm-hmm.
God, Izzy, I wish I had your organization.
Yeah, that makes too much sense. I like that.
Yeah, I'm
not playing as much games anymore.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately a fucking mess of human being, so I love playing garbage and watching garbage. My favorite movie, of course, is the Atop the Fourth Wall movie.
Oh God, please never again. But like, I did buy a couple of $2 games because they're really cheap, but I never got around to them because when, like I said, when I have a chance to play, I do whatever the most exciting game is. But I bought some like oh, you know what? Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL was like a
Hell
fun,
yeah.
like, shitty game.
No, that game's amazing. Don't shit talk that game. That game's awesome.
Come at me, bro. Let's do this.
One thing Smash Bros. Clones don't really understand is how flow works. Like, flow is the best part of a Smash game, and the only like Smash Bros. Derivative that got it right was Super Smash Flash 2. Super Smash Flash 2 is amazing, by the way. Like, it's a really good fan game. Please go play it. It has an online mode and everything. You can like play with friends online with it. It's great. 10 out of 10. Masterpiece.
So
But,
when I asked the
me-
question of what we were, I'm sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
No, finish your thought. No, go on.
Fine. Maybe I will.
All right.
One of my guilty pleasure games, and I hope this jogs some people's memory because it's a classic. It's a game called Facade. It was
yeah. A classic.
Facade is a very interesting. I'll explain what it is. Facade is a very interesting tech demo where you're invited to a couple's dinner party, and the couple is on the verge of like a divorce. And what's so interesting about it is that it has a dynamic dialogue system where you can actually type to them, and based on certain keywords you use, they will respond to it in different ways. And it's not like super accurate, but it's pretty good. Like, it does a pretty good job at reading your dialogue. Except there's one instance where if you,
go ahead. Continue.
It's fun to mess around with and break the game because it is very easy to break it, like super easy.
Yes.
They were much more interested in the dynamic dialogue system than anything else.
There's also really easy ways to set off the AI. Like, I think one of them is if you just say the word grape juice, they immediately get incredibly offended and ask you to leave.
Well, there are certain fail states. Like, one of them is the couple breaks up. Like, if you fail to do that, but you can get kicked out of their apartment. And one of the best ways to do that is just to type the one singular word, melon. And then the guy Trip goes, okay, you know what? That's it. You need to leave. Go on. No, we'll take care of this. You just have to go. And I think the reason why melon ticks him off is because melon is also a slang term for breast. So he might be thinking, oh, you're hitting on my wife or something. Which is what I think is what happened, and they just didn't program the word to have like different meanings, which is like what the problem was. But yeah,
that's great.
I like Facade a lot. It's a lot of fun to fuck around with and play with friends because you just say all this shit to the AI and like you can get them to fight each other, break apart. You can get the girlfriend to go with you. It's great. It's funny. I love it.
I guess my guilty pleasure game is Drake of the 99 Dragons on Xbox.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's a great choice, though.
I mean, it's like this Bruce Timm Batman-looking game that has dual wielding back when like The Matrix and Equilibrium were cool, and I feel like had this been a good game, it would have made for a cool cartoon or a comic or whatever, but it's just a shitty game, and there's a lot of weird things you do, like one puzzle requires you to crash a civilian train, and when you crash the civilian train, all their souls come out, and you absorb their souls, since that's how you get power, and it's like, you're the hero of this story, what the fuck?
I love gameplay story segregation like that, where like the story goes directly like into like the complete opposite of what the gameplay is supposed to represent. I worded that very poorly, but I'll explain what I mean. In Tomb Raider,
you're the hero killing people, civilians.
And the 2013 Tomb Raider reboot, which is another guilty game of mine, it's like okay, it's like a decent action game, but like the story is hot garbage. Izzy joined me on a stream with it, and it was a lot of fun. But Lara like is like a fresh like she's innocent, she's pure, etc. And then like she's like about to be like sexually assaulted by this one dude. So she like steals his gun and shoots him, and she starts dry heaving like, what have I done? I killed a person. And then immediately 2 seconds later, you start like taking them down by the truckloads. And it's just like,
yeah,
okay. It's just like, okay, Lara. Okay. And the whole game is like that too. It's so funny because like I call the game Womb Raider because like all it is just Lara getting abused and she keeps getting stabbed in her womb area repeatedly. So
Okay, well, Spider-Man 2, the game where you can literally throw bad guys off buildings, and the new Spider-Man game, I heard you can't do that, really. They just latched onto another building. But also you can just throw their corpses into the water and watch them drown. It's fine.
The Spider-Man 2 combat system gets a lot of flack because even though it's kind of janky, like there's a lot of different things you can do with it. One of my favorite things is either tying enemies up to lampposts, or my absolute favorite, carry them to the highest point of New York, jump off, and then pile drive them into the fucking dirt.
Always.
And then you see them ragdoll like 20 million feet up into the air and maybe land on the building because you pile drive them so hard.
Yeah.
Always great.
Spider-Man didn't give a shit.
My my guilty pleasure game comes from a very, very dark place. So I was making a video for my YouTube channel on you guys remember Pokemon Let's Go, that Switch game that's coming out? It's all announced in this. So a few days before the announcement, there was a ton of stuff all over the internet of like leaks and rumors and like, oh, it's been leaked. It's Pokemon Pikachu and Pokemon Eevee for the Switch and this and that, and like it's leaked and whatever. So I made a video where I did the whole clickbait shit, like all capital letters, like Pokemon Switch Let's Go leaked gameplay, and like the thumbnail was like I photoshopped a picture of Pikachu onto Switch and this and that. So I went onto the internet and I found a Pokemon porn game. And it's explicitly a game where you fuck the Pokemon, not like the characters from it, but the Pokemon themselves.
And, I've been there. Go on.
And so in the video, the joke is that like I was playing the game and I'd be like, well, here's the leaked gameplay. I'm recording it from my phone because I'm not allowed to show it. Here's some like gameplay footage and this and that. And like I took the Switch Joy-Con and I started like doing a jack off motion in front of like literally when you masturbate a Lucario and shit. Like clearly just like a horrible parody that I tried to get into YouTube's actual Pokemon algorithms to show the children. But eventually I found out. But eventually I found out that the game is Mastermind. You know, the whole like I have a secret pattern and you put like colored marbles and you have one in the right spot and two not in the right spot and this and that. And eventually I just kind of kept opening it and playing it like at I don't know, that hour twilight before you go to bed. And now I probably have like 40 hours in it.
By the way, not all villains wear capes.
And literally you play Mastermind and when you beat it, you're rewarded with sex scenes of Pokemon. But I don't know. Good. It just became what I would go to because it's got like characters and writing and a story and this and that. And I have no idea why I played it for so long, but that was 100% the game I would never tell anyone I played, which is why I'm telling you about it on this podcast.
And the public, to everybody.
Oh yeah, the secret's out.
Can you fuck Gardevoir?
No, Gardevoir's not in it.
Then what's the point?
Well, you can get Lucario, who I think is like the most popular Pokemon fuck.
What's the most fuckable Pokemon in the game?
Fuckable or strangely fuckable? Because my favorite one was you get Magnezone, you know, the Magneton that's a big round one, and the way you fuck it is you mash its keypad like you're dialing an old phone.
Oh.
So yeah, you don't have to pity laugh. It's okay. I know this is fucked up, but yeah, I don't know. There's Lucario. I haven't played it in a long while. This is while I was making this, but there's like Lucario. There's Magnezone. Who's the Leaf one? He's a starter. The little
Chespin.
No, not that one. The reptile.
The smug one.
The gecko.
Trico?
Yeah, either Trico or one of those things is in there. Yeah. It was a weird game.
I'm willing to bet I've seen this game because I do furry porn for a living. So
really,
I don't have a job. I don't have a job anymore, so that's kind of like my only income at the moment.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I remember it's called Monster Mind. I remember that explicitly because it's Mastermind.
I'm willing to bet I've seen that before. That's still not the most fucked up porn game I've heard of though. Like there's this one on the PS2 that's exclusive in Japan only. It's super, super fucked up. So if you guys are like sensitive to, I'm actually going to put a trigger warning in front of this one. If y'all are sensitive to like really like fucked up like sexual things, then like I'd mute this for like 2 minutes. But There's this game in Japan where essentially what you're doing is you're kidnapping girls off like the train.
Wait. Can I guess the title? Is it
yes.
Rayplay? Is it Rayplay?
Yeah, it's Rayplay. It's
a
Rayplay,
classic, a golden standard. Oh, I know all
a
about
golden standard for degenerate games,
yes,
for absolute garbage.
For being fucked up. But yeah, I've heard of Rayplay. Please tell them about it. It's something that everyone needs to be aware of.
Yeah, Rayplay is a super, super terrible fucked up game where essentially you're going on like Japan subways and harassing women and then kidnapping them and molesting them. That's like the whole game. It's super fucked up.
Isn't that?
I remember learning about it on like a countdown of like most fucked up porn games or something.
I think that's the one too, where the 3 victims you get are like a girl, her sister, and her mom. And
yeah, it's like
it goes to the next level of just genuinely fucked up.
Yeah, like I seriously hope that whoever the people who made those games are in prison, like legit. I'm all about the fictional, like whatever you do in fiction is fine, but that game is fucked. No, go to prison, get locked up, leave.
Don't you have to meet certain video gaming standards to get published on a major console? The fact that it was made for PS2 and distributed is what's worrying me.
They could have just gone with like a distributor who was off the grid, which is what I'm assuming they did. Yeah, there are some instances where games weren't approved by the licensor, but they made it onto the console and distribution anyway because they got a third-party distributor to do it. I think that's what might have happened with Rayplay.
Mm-hmm. Now, where can I get a copy?
Wow. Okay.
Hey, it's for the collectors, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like this reminds me. You guys know about the Guy game?
Yes.
I was about to bring that up.
Yes.
Scott Waz, who's another cool video game YouTuber. We should get on. Scott, please, Scott. I was here when you had 4,000 subscribers. Please.
It's basically a quiz show game where if you answer right, the girls will show you their tits. And the game was filmed just basically an hour from where I lived in South Padre Island. And it's like, wow, this is another thing my town could be known for, my area, besides having child detention centers for immigrants. But anyway, also the game got in trouble for having one girl that was actually 17 and showing her tits. And now the game's child pornography. And well, yeah. My town's not known for anything good.
If you own that game, you own contraband.
That's completely true.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
How much is that game worth now, do you think? Like if you tried to go on eBay or something and literally be like, I'm selling my copy, what do you think the value's gone up to?
I don't know. Usually stuff you think would be rare is really not usually. Like I also try to get a book. I collect art books and stuff, and like it's really weird because like a certain art book that was localized will be like about like $300-$400 if it's out of print, but the same book that's just in Japanese costs like $50. It's really weird just how the secondhand market works and what they deem more expensive than others.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy the game for $40 on eBay.
Sweet. Okay. If you guys want to own child pornography,
you can complete that PS2 collection.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I literally went to take a bathroom break and all I did was come back to, if you guys want to own child pornography, what the fuck?
We're talking about
he had to been there. It makes more sense.
We're talking about the Guy game, which was a game where it was like a quiz show, and if you guessed right, you got to see girl titties.
Yeah, Nolan made this a great game. He's trying to share with everybody. Izzy, he programmed it last night.
You.
Oh my! I'm not.
Fuck you. But yeah.
Look, I'm trying to assemble all the accomplishments my area, the Rio Grande Valley, has achieved. Like, we got the Guy game, we got child detention centers, and we got a Mel Gibson movie nobody watched called Get the Gringo.
Oh, Get the Gringo. Wow, that's straight to VHS schlock. I remember that shit.
Yeah.
That's a good
job,
one.
Mel.
Good shit. My hat's off to you, Mel.
All right, you guys want to answer like one or two more questions?
I want to actually interrupt. Yeah. I asked the question at the beginning, like, what games have you guys currently playing? Because I wanted to talk about HallowKnight, and I was polite and let everyone speak, and then Nolan got bored of the subject and went to another question.
Yeah, we moved on to
I transitioned into another subject. I didn't get bored of it.
We moved on to more important games like the Guy game and Rayplay.
Right. Yeah.
Izzy, talk talk about HallowKnight. I'm giving you the platform. It is yours. You have the talking stick.
Finally. Have any of you guys played HallowKnight?
Goth me up.
No, but I jacked off to porn to it. It's really great.
I own it. I need to play it. I want to stream it, but I still have not installed it.
Okay, so like I legitimately, so I did when I had a YouTube channel a couple of years ago, I did a beta let's play of it because it was a 2D animated platforming game. Sound amazing. That's up my alley. Super cute. And then like I guess Team Cherry was like super cool, like was really thankful. I might have been one of the first people to let's play. I don't know, but they were like super, like they jumped on me and they gave me Steam codes, which I never actually used because I backed the Kickstarter and I was waiting for the Switch version. So finally, the Switch version comes out, and this weekend I finally allowed myself a chance to play it. I had to turn down a client, and for really upsetting, I was animating something for a YouTuber, and what they wanted and what I wanted was not the same thing. It was not worth the money, and so I pulled out. And as self-care, I was like, fuck it, I'm turning off my phone, I'm turning off everything, I'm going to play a video game. So I played HallowKnight, and I'm about maybe 7-10 hours into it. Like I've been addicted to it. I've been playing it nonstop, and I forgot what it's like to be in this mode of video. Like I'm craving to play it right now. And it's a really great Metroidvania game. Like it's got the same like, you know, exploration. You get a new ability, you go backtrack to an area where you remember something, and you go further and you keep going. And like after playing so long, because I saw that one of the achievements was like beat it in 5 hours. And I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a relatively short game, perfect for me. No, I'm 7 hours into it, and I just checked the wiki just to see kind of where I was, and there's like 5 more sections, and I've gotten multiple upgrades, and apparently there's more to come, and there's also like secret bosses and shit, and it's like it's really really packed up with content, and I'm super excited. And plus there's DLC too. And one thing I do want to say is that like it for a cute looking game, you know, it's got kind of that like gothy but like chibi looking characters. There's a point where like you get like the ground breaks underneath you, and then all of a sudden you're in the dark, and like it's really really dark. Like you can see what stuff is, but it's still dark enough to like get you really like anxious. And then like you don't know where the save spot is. There's the map's not working, and like legitimately there's creatures jumping everywhere. I was legitimately freaking out. Like it took me like an hour after I got done with that game session to calm down. I really really like it.
That's the good shit. You know you're making a good game when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a fun time. I gotta check it out.
I know.
Do it. Now I will say that like it runs smoothly, super smooth. Up until this morning, I was playing a little bit of it, and I don't know if it's just too much particle effects, but I did get some slowdown on it. And that it didn't ruin it. It's just kind of like one of those things where when the enemies explode, it just kind of jumped a bunch of frames. Like it went to like 2 frames a second for like half a second.
Yeah.
It is difficult, but it's like I wanted to make the joke that's the Dark Souls of Metroidvania, but that's pretty accurate considering that it has a very similar mechanic where if you die, you like a dark version, a shadow version of yourself appears in that area, and it has all your loot. So you have to go back to it and kill it to get full powered again.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice until you accidentally get killed getting back to it, and then you lose 800 in currency.
Ooh.
But all the designs are fantastic. There's some characters in there that's pretty fuckable for Nolan.
Thank you.
Check.
Yeah, and then there's also I found a character who's like this lonely little girl bug that's like it's kind of difficult to get to her, but when you get to her, she like she's like, oh, someone remembers me. Oh, that's great. Well, I'm gonna go to the city, and you go back to the city, and she now has like a house, and she has like she's in love with you for like rescuing her and finding her. And I think that's really really fucking adorable.
That is adorable.
From the art that I've seen, I think it's got a good world and character design. So yeah, I mean, you're just pushing me harder to check it out.
Though I'm gonna fuck
HallowKnight.
Yeah, that's the only reason I want to play it too. I want to fuck it.
So I read on the Wikia that apparently the Knight, which is the character's not HallowKnight. There's another character I think named HallowKnight. This one's just called the Knight or the Shadow, and apparently it's a reuse of a character they did on Newgrounds. So if you look on Newgrounds for the Hungry Knight, you could play as the same knight from this game. in a much more simplistic game where you have to eat every 10 seconds or you die.
See, as a big fan of shit random Flash games and a kid who grew up on Newgrounds, you've convinced me even more to go check that out first.
And to throw the one last Hollow Knight thing that I want to mention is that I actually own a Hollow Knight statue. One of the creators during their campaign for the Kickstarter, we were selling handmade, like I think it was like 3 of them total. But like it's a Hollow Knight just like standing there, and I bought that off of them. It was really it's not expensive for handmade statues. It was at the time for me where my budget was, and considering that I mostly spend like $20 on statues at most, 20 to that, like I think now I start spending closer to the 60 mark. That was $150, but it's like really, really rare. Like there's like 3 of them, and it was by the creator himself, and it helped, make the game happen. So I was super cool about that.
Izzy, Hollow Knight is all your fault.
Oh,
isn't that
Does the statue like do anything? Like, does it come to life at night and like steal your shit, or?
Whenever I'm lonely,
oh my God,
it like
I love Toy
strokes my
Story.
hair.
Toy Story is an epic game.
You're right.
Yeah, I have some bad memories with the Super Nintendo one. Yeah.
Yeah, we know. We can still hear your cries.
Yeah. Classic Pan.
Good old Toy
Undertale
Story.
is the Dark Souls of NES games, says Madam Hustler. While we're on the subject of Undertale, real quick, I hope Sans gets in Smash Ultimate. Please. Please.
Well, it's been fun being on the podcast. No. I don't know what happened, but I suddenly just have to leave and never come back. Very sorry.
Yes, let's all leave and never come back.
Wait, do you really want
Sans? According to Game Theory, isn't Sans already in?
Funny, is he?
You know what? Get off.
No, listen. Fucking Toby Fox visited Kyoto's Nintendo headquarters.
He confirmed.
Why do you think he did that?
Oh my God!
Why do you think he did that?
Wait the fuck a minute. Okay, so he went to Kyoto's headquarters, and not that long ago, fucking MatPat gave the Pope Undertale. I'm starting to put things together here. If it's not confirmed by now, oh my lord! And dude, if you say Undertale backwards, it says Smash Ultimate. How did we not do this?
Also, I might add that Sakurai really, really likes Undertale, and he said it was one of the best games he's played in recent years. So,
citation.
And Shovel Knight is in Smash Ultimate as an assist trophy.
Which, by the way, that is such a bittersweet thing, because like not only because people want him playable, so it kind of sucks that he's not. But like for him to legitimately be in Smash Brothers at all, this indie title, is a huge accomplishment.
Good job, Shovel Knight.
And then he's a little trophy. Yay! I love the shit show, the leaks. I love the shit show, the leaks, the images where
all these fake leaks, just everywhere.
I took a grainy photo of my monitor real fast with blurry filter. It has to be legit, even though we are living in the era of high-resolution phone cameras and digital monitors. So there's no way in fuck the photo would be that shit. But it's so funny.
I think the idea is that they had to catch it quickly, or otherwise they would have been caught.
Oh, of course.
I think that's like. That's why they're all blurry, because they had to whip out their phone super fast and then put it back.
So stupid.
It's crazy. I know. It's funny though. I love seeing some of the leaks and then people debunking them, and it becomes like a spectacle in and of itself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, the leaks kind of work as a sort of a portfolio thing where it's like, see, look what I can do with my CGI. So I'm assuming some of these guys will get a job somehow.
Oh yeah, like Sam Hicks, or I think it's Sam Hicks. No, it's Sean Hicks. He used to be Star Power on Sparta's Resource. I was friends with him way back in the day. But like him and Omni, like they did like the fake 3D renders, and they actually got a following through that.
That's smart.
Smashified, I think, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ketchup of Satan says, "Wah." Thank you, Ketchup of Satan. I appreciate it.
Oh, he's like that. Why? Like that Smash Brothers character, Sans Undertale? That's fucking funny.
Die.
Okay, question, everyone. What is the one Smash Brother character you really want in the new game?
Sakurai himself.
Not this again.
Sans.
No. Okay.
James
if
Bond.
We're gonna do, before they did Mii Fighters, I really wanted them to make a Miyamoto, like Miyamoto, but like as a me person. Like I thought that would have been perfect.
I see what you're saying there. I got it. And then have Reggie Fisa me. Oh fuck, that's ugh. No, that's I can see why you would want that. I don't know. I'm mixed on the Miis because it gives them the excuse to just be all like, "Oh, this character's not in Smash. Make a me of him. Fuck you."
Shigeru Miyamoto.
That's funny. Soccer me. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Masamiho Sakurai.
But if they are gonna add one more franchise, like I want Mortal Kombat just so they can have Sub-Zero and Ryu together.
I like that.
Oh, that would be cool.
That's cute.
Like, you know what sucks about Ready Player One is they had both Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and they didn't even interact at all.
Oh man, did you like Ready Player One, where the most popular game of 2035 is Overwatch? And Tracer herself shows up literally 5 different times.
It's nostalgic at that point, I guess. It's retro.
Oh god.
The 2013 Tomb Raider shows up in there too for some reason, and Sonic.
And Halo 5 is for some reason the most popular one.
Battleborn characters.
Oh boy.
Do you guys remember Iron Giant?
Yeah.
Oh god, Iron fucking Giant.
Do you remember how Brad Bird made the Iron Giant as like an anti-gun movie because that's how his sister died?
What?
And then they turn him into a gun in Ready Player One.
Did you like how Ready Player One is a PG-13 movie, so they get one F-bomb that they're allowed, and they used it on the incredibly poignant and funny and memorable line, "It's fucking Chucky." Remember that? Remember how the whole audience roared in laughter when that came up?
That's how I would use it, you know? That's a good use of it. Might as well.
I'm glad we all agree that movie was bad. We do, right?
It's for the gamers.
I think it's funny. I like really bad movies. Like I said before, Top the Fourth Wall is my favorite movie. So
when is that commentary coming?
Oh, it's
yeah. When is it? It's up to you guys.
Oh yeah, we should do something. Yeah, well, eventually, but eventually I got to do a review on Ready Player One since it's technically an animated movie or partially animated, like Osmosis Jones.
Was your favorite part of Ready Player One? Because I know it was mine when they said we have the literal entire internet and all of its culture at our disposal, all of human knowledge and pop culture and fiction that we can work with, all these crossovers, all these licenses. Steven fucking Spielberg.
Yeah.
Let's do a third of the movie as a Shining parody.
Hey, I love that scene.
I hated that entire scene from start to finish.
Oh.
I couldn't stand it. It felt like such a waste.
My boys HuggBees up in here with the good taste, good takes. What up?
That was like the one good part of Ready Player One that I really enjoyed. Everything else was so lame.
I like the race. I thought the race was cool.
Oh yeah,
because like all the different cars and shit.
Guys, you have to race backwards.
Yeah.
Look,
that was the secret.
Really fast.
The movie is bullshit because like these Easter eggs would have been solved in like an hour.
Yes. No, in 10 minutes. I mean, like, how many times do you play a game that just comes out and people are explicitly in a group trying to break it as hard as they can? Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
Was there any hacking in the game?
That too, yeah.
Yeah, did they have a throwaway line where they were like, the Oasis is nearly impossible to hack?
I don't know.
If not, then if they did, then at least that would be something. But if they don't, then like, yeah, it's just like not expecting people to not like hack into the Oasis to break it is stupid and dumb, and you're dumb. Fuck you, Ready Player One.
Yeah, that movie was.
I love YMS's review on it.
YMS makes good reviews. I like him.
What did Adam say about it?
Videos lately.
He made a quickie on it, but essentially, like the movie ends on like saying, "Hey, the Oasis, this virtual world, will now be closed on Tuesdays and Thursdays," and it's like, why? Like, fuck you. Like, some of us might have a day off on Tuesdays or Thursdays. Why you got to close it for everyone, dick?
Yeah. I don't get why it was a movie with no foresight. It's like, what if you work in the Oasis?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I shut down my fucking business.
And
okay, but also let's just discuss like why Tuesday and Thursday?
Yeah.
Why those two completely random days?
That's when when my videos come out.
Because
their videos don't come out on Thursdays.
I'm trying.
They're gonna make the sequel Ready Player 2 and launch it on Ready Player Tuesday.
yeah.
And the whole plot is they're gonna be like someone's in the Oasis, but it's Tuesday.
Oh,
what?
no!
And then like the trailer's crazy.
I can see that happening. I can hear it in my head. I can hear the trailer, and it's the unplugged take on me from MTV. It's gonna happen. That's what they're gonna do.
Oh.
God damn it, HuggBees. You
motherfucker.
realize,
You know for a fact that the opening line's gonna be like, "We have to go back to the Oasis," and just all this stupid
it's just
shit.
and it's playing the unplugged take on me.
Oh man, what I want is the opening scene. It's just Daisy popping in from the Mario movie, but it's Daisy's character model from the Mario series.
Oh yeah, finally resolve whatever was going to happen at the end of that movie. Now I'm curious.
Do we know what was going to happen?
Yeah, what
Does
was the
anybody
ending
know?
to the Mario
They were
Brothers
gonna make
movie?
a sequel and make a bunch of money, and then they saw the sales figures and said, "Never mind."
No, those directors never got work after that, really.
But did they have a plan?
John Leguizamo was gonna the Super Mario Brothers sequel was going to be John Leguizamo in front of a camera, like a little camcorder in his bedroom for an hour and a half, and he's just like, "I'm sorry for the movie. I know that Bob Hoskins can't be here to apologize as well. I'm sorry for that." And that's the entire hour and a half.
But you can still see me in the new Ice Age movie, Ice Age 7.
But
we meet the
don't expect to
Flintstones.
see Bob Hoskins in it. He won't be there.
Oh.
Yeah. We got Steven Spielberg on. We have a really funny, shiny parody halfway through the movie.
Doesn't Disney own Blue Sky now?
I think they bought 20th Century Fox or something.
Yeah, they bought Fox.
Yes.
Which, that is the greatest
Yeah,
announcement of the modern century, because it means there's a legitimate chance Hank Hill might be in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well, he already met the Silver Surfer, so he's in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, he met the Silver Surfer. When is my amazing crossover of the fucking Marvel Universe and King of the Hill?
All I'm thinking now is Ice Age is now technically part of the Disney canon.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't think about that.
Oh, I just
The one
discovered...
thing I like though is they're like, Fox is like, you can have everything, but not The Simpsons. Like, okay.
Wait,
I
what?
mean,
Really? I thought The Simpsons was bought.
Damn.
No, I think The Simpsons like is something Fox kept.
I think Fox
No, I
owns the
thought
TV
the only
stuff.
thing Fox kept was Fox News for
I
some
think it's
reason.
the TV, anything in TV in general.
I mean, The Simpsons is kind of its own writhing
I just
entity.
made this discovery. Harvey Birdman, the attorney at law, there was a video game made by Capcom, and it's pretty much Ace Attorney, but with Birdman.
Yeah, I've played it.
Is it any good?
It's fucking great. It's very short. It's like 5 hours long. It's very short, but it's just the show with Phoenix Wright gameplay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's great.
I
I
know.
remember that. Wasn't it on the Wii?
Yep, it's on the Wii.
Yeah, but
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I highly recommend it. I mean, I don't know how you get it because I'm just gonna say it. Fucking emulate it. It's not worth buying a copy, and it's
Yeah.
very short. But it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. It was funny. It was true to the show. Had all the voice actors. It was good.
Well, they didn't get Stephen Colbert for that eye patch guy. What was his name?
I think they did.
No,
I think
I don't
they
think
did.
so.
You sure?
Yeah,
Fuck, maybe I'm wrong.
Sure. But I just want to say that Harvey Birdman's already a crossover with a bunch of Hanna-Barbera characters, and in this game, they had like some Capcom characters like Guile in there. So Hanna-Barbera
That's awesome.
now is now connected to the Capcom verse, which is connected to the Marvel and all these other things.
Which is connected to Sunoco or whatever the fuck it was, that anime production
Oh,
company.
Tatsunoko.
Which is connected to Tatsunoko, which is connected to Marvel, which is oh god. The one that scares me though is like take a big like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon on a big mainline franchise. How many universes, if you sat down and crunched the numbers, do you think Mario's connected to?
Everything.
Too fucking many. Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
probably every creative production on the planet in some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, he's connected to fucking BMW.
So I double checked. Disney does own The Simpsons.
Oh,
Wow. Crazy.
that is
Oh,
crazy
man.
because Universal Studios
Maybe
has a fucking Simpsons theme park. I wonder what's
Well,
going
they
to
have
happen with that.
a land. Yeah.
They have Marvel properties too, which I think
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
know. Like it could be a Sony deal where the contract says they can keep it so long as certain conditions are met,
Mhm.
or they could be on an expiration. So it's either one of those two things is going to happen eventually.
I mean, I'm sure some of the contracts are grandfathered in. Like for example, Simpsons won't get canceled potentially until 2020 or 2000 something because like it's
Please
got
cancel it.
No,
Yeah, please end
30
it.
it must
seasons.
go.
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
end
The Simpsons contract is up after the show's 30th season, which is set to air in 2020. So
No.
No.
Yeah, I was.
Well,
I was go ahead.
I hope they're planning a finale. So just do it. It would be such a shame if it wound up getting canceled like the way of Archie Sonic, where it has so much history behind it and it's like basically famous, and then it ends by cancellation due to corporate bullshit. That would be
Yeah.
terrible.
No, I never
As
wanted
much
to
as The
end.
Simpsons has.
I want them to just keep going till the end of time.
Yeah, I want to see how desperate they get by Simpsons season 56.
Yes.
They're already fucking desperate though. Bart literally said the phrase with no hint of irony, "epic sister fail," after Lisa got
Classic.
scared by a maze game.
Oh yeah, Maze Game in fucking 2018.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Can you? I
But
was thinking about this. Go ahead, Noel.
Even if you factor in the fact that like, oh well, episodes are produced like years in advance, it would have been like 2 years tops. So by that logic, it was 2016 when it was being made, which the Scary Maze games ended 10 years before that, so it's even worse.
Yeah.
But continue, HuggBees. I just wanted to make that little diatribe.
I mean, I was just thinking about this while I was going to bed, literally last night. It's like, can you imagine the cultural shift on how fucking irrelevant it's all become? Where back in the day, Bart Simpson was considered edgy. And literally some of the things he did was say cowabunga or cowabunga and eat my shorts, and that literally back when he came out was like, how the fuck is this on TV? This is unacceptable. It's crazy to think about.
I think the context was that he was a rebel kid. Like up until that point, every character that was like didn't obey by the rules or was a troublemaker or didn't get good grades was the bully or a side character that got their comeuppance or whatever. But
yeah, I think
Bart had pathos and stuff. He had like a character to him in development. Like there were reasons why he was the way he was, which people didn't want.
South Park fucking nailed it with that idea where they did the. It was a while ago, but the episode where I think it was they were trying to cancel Family Guy, and Cartman meets Bart in the waiting room of Fox. And he's like, what? He's like, I'm a bad kid. And he's like, oh yeah, what have you done? And Bart's like, I sawed the head off a statue once. And Cartman's like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I fed a kid his parents. And it's like just the clear juxtaposition of how much edgy has changed and all this shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Simpson premiered in 1989, so animation at the time wasn't all that edgy. It was just like G.I. Joes or Smurfs and stuff. There wasn't really much for adult TV cartoons.
You say that, but I distinctly remember the Transformers movie having like literal like gruesome death scenes.
Oh yeah, but it's robots, so it's fine.
I guess I always thought that was dumb. Just like
no,
they're still sentient and they still have feelings and emotions, but they're robots, so it's okay to show them getting brutally mutilated and screaming in agony.
Nah, it's fine. Don't worry.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's the Samurai Jack logic.
Yeah.
You can show them cutting a path and getting spray painted in oil. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fake.
We'll regret this once robots become sentient and watch all these movies and you're like, what the fuck, man?
What if in the far off year of 3022, you're going to have robots showing us this like it was like terrible racist films of the 1820s? Like, look at this shit. How dare you? What is wrong with your society?
I want to jump topics real quick, but I've been watching Venture Brothers, and like I've recently just rewatched it late at night with my roommate, and it's literally one of the best adult cartoons I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure.
It's ahead of its time when adulthood wasn't really doing plot lines.
Yeah, well, it's like really interesting is that like apparently they don't have like a plan for it. They're just writing as they go. And like that's super hella impressive, especially with how everything kind of like connects so well. I don't know if you guys seen season 7 yet, but like so far it's been like a big game changer in all the positive ways.
I'm waiting for it to end because I know that Venture Brothers is one of those shows where when I watch one episode, I'm gonna watch every episode. But I just remember as I was keeping up with it and watching the new seasons or marathoning or whatever, just some episodes my fucking jaw would drop because it's just such a good hard hitting of what animation should be. It's ambitious. It's got its own built-in world. The characters are detailed. It just, I don't know. Adventure Brothers is, if someone sat me down at a little table to have a little round table discussion and said, what is objectively the best thing Adult Swim has ever made, I would probably say Venture Brothers.
Easily.
Yeah, it's insane what how quality it is in everything.
Rick and Morty.
Well, thanks for having me on the show.
No.
You can't pull that
time
joke
to go.
3 times in one episode. God.
We're already 2 hours in, so it's like maybe we should just end this. It's already going on for so long.
Yeah, I guess. Venture Brothers is a great show. One of Adult Swim's best. Go watch it. I haven't seen it. Maybe someday. Who knows?
Please watch it, Nolan.
I highly recommend
I will.
it. Look, man, Nolan, you trust
people-
me, right? We're best friends. I recommended you Yakuza 0. I recommended you get that surgery, all that shit. Listen, man, Nolan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to watch the Venture Brothers, man. I'm gonna need you to do it.
All right.
Do it for me.
I feel like HuggBees, I feel like we have bonded, so I will trust you, especially with that surgery.
Perfect.
Are you sure like lead testicles are the way of the future?
Dude, no one's ever gonna question your balls again.
Okay, cool. This has been the Pizza Party Podcast. I'm Nolan. Who hosts this shit show?
Me.
Who are you?
Pan. That's me.
Okay. and my beautiful co-host who will say her name this time because I told her to.
I've been told to say my name is Izzy.
Good, cool. And our guest is HuggBees, right? That your name?
HuggBees, yeah. Thank
It's
you.
hip to fuck.
God damn it. Well, thanks.
Also known as
Bees,
Terry
it's hip
with
to
a gun.
HuggBees. Yes.
It's a we never even said it in the cartoon podcast. It's a Freakazoid reference. If anyone didn't pick up on it, there you go. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
God
It's
damn.
HuggBees. It's a Freakazoid reference. But
Damn.
HuggBees, is there anything you want to promote or tell us about anything upcoming of yours?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I live on the internet and just slap whatever I do on there. The big thing I'm doing right now is I stream on Twitch like literally every day at HuggBees TV. And then the only other real thing is I'm on my own podcast called The Official Podcast. Some of you might know of it. It's me and 3 of my friends talking about how often we kiss each other, and it's great. But yeah,
Erotic friend fiction.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, just Google me. We're all hip young adults. We can use Google. You'll find my stuff, and yeah, that's what I do.
Since Pan runs the show, he'll include all description, right, Pan?
Hopefully, yes.
That's so thoughtful.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks. Okay, Pan, end us off. Do your
Okay,
thing. Come on,
it's
chop chop.
over. Goodbye, every pony.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, Pan is completely cucked from the podcast.